right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Rastafari.
Y'all heard what he did?
Bought the prison?
Yeah, he bought a prison and turns it into a marijuana farm. So right in time on 420, he did an interview with the Root, and he revealed that he, along with business partners, Ocean Grown Extracts, officially purchased. No. Ocean Grown Extracts is the company.
It's a company, all right.
He officially purchased a California prison to convert it into a marijuana farm. Marley announced his plans in 2016. Reportedly, the 38-year-old had been making plans to purchase the unused Claremont Custody Center for $4.1 million. Marley will use. Can I get some coke?
She right here.
Oh, Marley will use. You crazy? Marley will use the 77,000 square feet land to grow medical marijuana. Quote.
Yeah, right.
That he plans to distribute to state dispensaries. That's actually smart, though. So a quote from him, he says, "Many people sacrificed so much for the herb over the years who got locked up." He told Billboard in October, "If this helps people and use it for medicinal purposes only, medicinal purpose and inspires people, then it's going to be a success." So that's pretty dope, man. That's pretty interesting scenario that he did that. I mean,
No, for sure.
I think that's pretty cool, though. Turn the prison into...
Because, marijuana, man, it has so many benefits, man. It's just...
It should have been... Marijuana should have been legalized,
for sure.
so many years ago.
For sure.
I don't think you find any too many people who reported crimes that people have committed crimes while high on marijuana.
Yeah.
Bro,
Or
correct me if I'm wrong.
even
There's
to me,
been no deaths.
Yeah.
But guess what? It's about the government thing. The government doesn't make money.
But
Yeah,
they
you
can.
can't.
Have to be. It's on the business.
But if they
That's
legalize
why-
it, they can
And
tax
When
it.
they legalize it as a marijuana smoker, I will not buy weed from the government.
Why?
I feel like they will water it down.
Well, cigarettes are not watered down.
Cigarettes,
But wait.
it's meant to kill you. So
That's
They're going
true.
to do something to it.
But that's another way.
Weed out the herd.
weed is basically gonna become. It is gonna become basically like a. I feel like an in between marijuana and K2.
You think so?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So it's gonna be strong enough to kill you, but it's not just gonna completely kill you right away. It's gonna slowly kill you.
Well, let me give you something interesting. What I've done. So I invested into some stock to this company called Grow Life.
I heard of them.
They're a company that are going to be distributors, and they're going to set up similar to what he's doing. So the government, far as now, the government doesn't interject far as with people that are legally growing marijuana. So you can grow the type of herb that you want. There's no question the government doesn't interfere with that, because I think at the end of the day, I don't think the government... Here's what people don't understand about marijuana, about weed, period. It's not the type of weed, it's the THC power behind weed.
Okay.
So what the government actually does regulate that people do not understand, they actually regulate THC.
How much you can intake?
Exactly. So THC is sold at most herb shops or health food stores.
Correct.
And they regulate how much, like if it's the potency of THC, because they know the power behind THC, the healing power behind it, for everyday use, for everyday healing purposes. So it's like if you go to a health food store, you don't see it on the shelf. You kind of got to ask for it because it's still like very kind of like incognito, very like So it's like it's crazy, but that's where it boils down to. And I think that because weed helps and cures, I think that's part of the reason why they will so far have not legalized it. What's your take on it, though?
So it's crazy for one to think like that the government doesn't want to legalize something that will help people in so many ways.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to do the research to see what was it that happened for them to consider it illegal. If y'all know,
That's true. I don't, and that's actually I think because
the way they saw people react to it.
during like the Vietnam War, and so I think that it became. I know one thing. A trace was it from they chose to give soldiers opium and acid as opposed to marijuana from post-traumatic symptoms coming from Vietnam.
Okay.
Because of course you become more dependent. Like you're not dependent on weed. Weed is not a dependable. It's not a dependent drug.
Right.
opium, cocaine.
Yeah.
Those are the drugs that you need. Once it's in your body,
You
your
don't
body
need that.
exactly.
Right.
So it's like why have people on a natural high or increase their natural highness? Why not give them a chemical induced high, which would be your opium? Now opium is a pure high too as well, but it's the levels of opium that's implemented in most drugs that makes you delusional, etc. You know, most over the counter drugs have opium in it.
Right.
That was a big push doing because of 9/11. Now Afghanistan and throughout the Middle East, one of their main resources is opium. And so with that opium push, America sees a lot of opium, which now you see more opium in more over the counter
Drugs.
Exactly. Crazy, right? So, but kudos to the brother Damian Marley for doing that, man. I think it's something different, and I appreciate it. So, y'all know, were you a big Obama fan when Obama was in office?
Yeah.
You know, Malia has a stalker. And so Malia Obama's stalker shows up at her internship to ask her for her hand in marriage.
Yikes.
So the guy name is this is funny because y'all would like this. Jair Nilton Cardoso of Brooklyn, New York.
Oh shit.
Damn
it, man.
He showed up to the Tribeca building where Malia was interning to profess his love for the former first daughter. The incident occurred on April 10th. Cardoso arrived on the 4th floor of the building. I know he was West Indian with that last name.
Cardoso?
Yeah. He arrived on the 4th floor of the building and held a sign to the office window while loudly proposing marriage to Malia. Luckily, Secret Service agents recognized Cardoso as a man who has repeatedly tried to make his way into the White House, and they let him off with a warning, telling the 30-year-old man to leave the premises and leave Malia alone. However, it didn't stop there. 2 days later, Cardoso found his way to Malia again, following her out the building into the West Village, where she also interns. Too much downtime. The following day, Secret Service went to Cardoso's Brooklyn apartment to interview him. It was concluded then that Cardoso, who has no criminal record, suffered from psychiatric issues. Of course, they found that out. As a result, they took him into a Brooklyn hospital for evaluation, which means they probably doped him up and probably beat his ass. So therefore, exactly, you come in anywhere near her again, they're probably going to
Twice.
Exactly. 5 days after the interview, Secret Service agents went to the first precinct station house in Manhattan and reported Cardoso. They have not decided whether to file stalking or harassment charges against him. What a way. It is not that damn serious. I can't even look at them as being anywhere near attractive because we all remember them coming in as kids. So it's like, yeah, I'm good.
There's some sick people out there, man.
Brooklyn.
And I'm trying to see. So look, but you all heard about the 50 Cent situation where he punched a girl in the face?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
I did it.
How y'all feel about that? Well, let me tell you the story. So, during his concert,
He's still concert?
yeah, man, 50 has a big following, man. 50 is like the last. 50 is like the last gangster rapper. If you think about it, Take a guess.
I don't know about that.
So I get into the story. So a week ago, 50 was performing with the Lox at Baltimore Soundstage. 50 reached into the crowd. An excited female identified as Donita Deer, of course she was black, reached for 50's hand and appeared to pull him into the crowd. Video footage that then shows the rapper trying to free himself from her grasp by punching her in the chest. Damn. She eventually let go. I mean, of course, she got stolen on, so I'm sure she let go. But
She was shocked.
I mean, she got hit in the titties. When you hit a woman in the chest, she gonna look like G. And realizing what he did, 50 invited a young lady on stage to twerk it out. Mm-hmm. Apparently, he thought all was well. Unfortunately for him, it's not. She has retained an attorney and is looking to sue the rapper over the incident. Her lawyer, Warren Brown, says that his client went to the hospital the next day and hired him on Monday. Her lawsuit will be filed as early as next week.
How you gonna file a lawsuit after he let you come on stage and twerk?
Exactly.
I mean,
Like, how stupid do you look? Say no.
ridiculous.
Now you're just looking thirsty.
Beyond, and so now she's but she's gonna sue. Like, so how do y'all feel about people that I think some people target celebrities
Oh, for sure.
for lawsuits?
Of course, they're like a walking
But
billboard.
these celebrities also fall into it.
True, true.
Like Cat Williams, for example. Cat is always getting sued or finds his way into like a lawsuit.
You remember when he got beat up by that little kid?
Yo,
That shit was hilarious.
he tried to explain to them that he was like, it was a child. He didn't want to fight back. Let me tell you, man, I would have beat the youth out of that child.
Came out old.
Came out like an old man. Ain't no way in hell you gonna sit there and no, you're a grown man. You can't be nice to kids, man. But lesson learned, though. But I think it's an agenda with a lot. Who else is always in the news with celebrities? I mean, as far as
Chris Brown.
Oh my god.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
about to say that.
and like how you get in trouble for a chick being on trespassing in your house and you threaten her?
He
Like-
was already a target.
Already been a target. Damn shame,
Chris,
man.
man, he had so many ups and downs in his career, man. It's ridiculous.
I mean, why? They be alright. Are they blind or something? So I'm trying to find.
More.
So that means. I mean, this is an interesting story, man. Let me get political for a little bit on this one. This is. So I forgot. I wanted to talk about this on Thursday. The guy named Alu. I'm sorry, not him. His name was Corey Ali Muhammad. Y'all heard about this guy that went on? He shot 3 people in Fresno, California. Mm-hmm. So he shot and killed 3 people in California, and then he shouted out Allah Akbar. And the incident began on Tuesday morning. The suspect, 39-year-old Corey Ali Muhammad, who goes by the nickname of Black Jesus. Wow. He went on a shooting spree around 10:45 a.m., shooting one person in a PGE utility truck, a second person on Fulton Street, and a third person in the parking lot of Catholic Charities. Police say around 16 shots were fired. He was tackled by police officers and arrested. And quote from the police department, they say, "What we know is that it was a random act of violence, and this is every reason for them to believe that he acted alone." According to Dair, Muhammad told police that he hates white people. He also reportedly made posts on Facebook against white people and the government. He already was wanted in connection to killing of a Motel 6 security guard last week. He now faces 4 counts of murder and 2 counts of attempted murder. So, I brought this story up because I think that there's one thing that's in the black community that we overlook, and mental illness.
Mm-hmm.
And what's your thoughts on that?
I think that it's looked over because of embarrassment. I think it's looked over because of finances. It's not free. I think it's looked over for. I'd probably just stick with them too, because I took up psychology in college, and the number one reason was nobody wanted to talk about it. It was too taboo. It was too predictable. People were too embarrassed to speak on it. Like, if there was a child who had a mental illness, the parents didn't want to know. They tried to hide it. Mm-hmm. So I definitely believe that it's overlooked.
For sure.
What about you, Noel?
No, he took the words right out of my mouth. It's like, I know a lot of people, even nowadays, like, oh no, my son, he's just learning. Like, he takes his time learning. He's 4, and everybody in his grade has a 30-word vocabulary. He only has a 5. But they just don't want to admit it. They're being very ignorant about it, man. Because there's help out there. Why not take it? Especially in correct me if I'm wrong, in the Board of Ed, I'm sure there's a lot of programs that could assist you. Why not take the opportunity?
It's a great point that you said that, because I was going to get into. I noticed that in black schools, because pretty much everybody here went to predominantly black elementary school and